There is a persistent mechanical failure in modern guitar processing. Players often treat delay time as an aesthetic preference, arbitrarily dialing in a fixed millisecond value without any regard for the physical mathematics of the tempo they are actually playing over.
A prominent example of this is the historical reliance on exactly 225 milliseconds. You see guitarists mechanically punch this specific number into their digital displays simply because genre pioneers utilized it on early tours. Relying on inherited settings while actively ignoring the physical reality of acoustic space fundamentally compromises the integrity of a mix.
Acoustic waves operate on strict, unforgiving mathematical laws. By the conclusion of this analysis, the exact physical math required to eliminate rhythmic conflict will be completely exposed, proving that true synchronization locks echoes precisely to a drummer's grid rather than letting them drift aimlessly.
The physical contrast between a synced and an unsynced signal is immediate and destructive. When delay times are programmed purely in milliseconds without a direct, calculated mathematical correlation to the song's BPM, the beats per minute counting the speed of the track, the resulting echoes instantly diverge from the foundational rhythm.
This drift doesn't require a massive mathematical error to destroy a performance. A microscopic offset of just 15 to 30 milliseconds generates a phantom beat, a rhythmic instability that actively fights the primary percussive elements and masks the sharp attack of the original note. The delay stops being a harmonic extension and starts physically fighting for the exact same temporal space.
Correcting this requires a rigid time conversion formula, beginning with the constant 60,000, which is the exact number of milliseconds in one single minute. Dividing 60,000 by the composition's BPM yields the precise mathematical value of a quarter note for that specific tempo. This baseline formula adapts when targeting complex rhythmic subdivisions. If the objective is the classic dotted eighth note delay, a subdivision mathematically represented as 3/16 of a standard 4/4 bar, the calculation constant shifts to exactly 45,000 divided by the BPM.
Enforcing this exact logic forces the artificial echo to strike precisely 3/4 of a beat after the physical string attack. When deployed against constant eighth note picking, these generated repetitions fall perfectly into the silent intervals, forging a syncopated pattern that creates the auditory illusion of a musician playing twice as many notes with mechanical metronomic precision. This rigid synchronization is precisely the mechanical framework utilized by the Edge of U2. To achieve his signature rhythmic propulsion, he fundamentally locks his entire processing rig to the exact tempo of the master track, such as synchronizing flawlessly to a metronome at exactly 126 BPM.
In tracks like Where the Streets Have No Name, executing that 3/16 dotted eighth calculation at 126 BPM means the delay processor is locked to approximately 350 milliseconds. That specific measurement transforms isolated arpeggios into the complex, percussive engine driving the entire composition.
Maintaining this synchronization requires the rhythm section to hold a flawless metronomic pace. For those who have navigated the specific technical challenge of aligning digital effects to a live human drummer who introduces dynamic tempo variations, detailing your mechanical workarounds in the comments provides critical data for this continuous analysis. But precise timing mathematics mean nothing if the signal density overwhelms the processor. To maintain rhythmic clarity without turning the low-end frequencies into mud, the regeneration parameter must be strictly limited to a maximum of 2 to 3 audible repeats, ensuring the digital artifacts never obscure the dry, unaffected signal of the instrument.
Implementing this strict timing in a controlled environment relies on 3 primary technical methods. The first is tap tempo, a physical interface where the operator strikes a momentary foot switch 2 to 4 times in time with the metronome, allowing the unit's internal microprocessor to calculate the exact millisecond interval instantly. The second method eliminates human error entirely through synchronization via MIDI clock, a protocol where a primary control system, like a recording computer, transmits continuous digital timing pulses through a cable directly into the pedal, forcing the delay processor to track microscopic tempo fluctuations in real time. The third method relies on analog discipline, utilizing static BPM to milliseconds conversion tables or dedicated digital calculators. By physically cross-referencing the target tempo against the required subdivision, the operator inputs an exact numerical value into the digital display, entirely removing estimation from the signal chain. While executing these calculations, strict environmental caution is mandatory concerning the feedback parameter, particularly when interacting with the physical limitations of analog bucket brigade device, or BBD circuits, which are analog memory chips where the delayed audio signal is cumulatively injected back into the primary input stage. If an operator pushes that regeneration dial past the 100% feedback threshold, the exact point where the volume of the synthetic repeats matches or exceeds the initial input signal, the internal circuitry triggers self-oscillation, a completely uncontrolled runaway feedback loop. This exponential multiplication of saturated audio energy builds uncontrollably, frequently peaking at harsh frequencies above 3000 Hz. If this dense wall of high-frequency noise is not rapidly attenuated or managed as a deliberate sound design tool, the sheer acoustic pressure can physically destroy output transformers and instantly tear speaker cones.
Analyzing this strict mathematical framework reveals the exact mechanical reality operating beneath the hood of a modern signal chain. Considering the precise microsecond synchronization required by digital effect processors to maintain the structural integrity of a mix, can unsynced delay ever be validated as a legitimate organic aesthetic choice, or is it merely a fundamental technical failure?